Good morning. It's Harvey Jackson. Just going to go through what we saw in the market yesterday and what could be happening here today. Nothing real earth-shattering out there other than wheat. It's still got a little bit of a green on the screen, but St. Patrick's Day green for canola, which is good. And NOPA crush is, I know it's delayed data, but it's putting out some numbers that were a little bit disappointing. As you can see here, declines on the soybean crush, and you can see this is from StoneX, basically pushing down into lower areas, but with all the crush capacity got built, and now you're seeing a bit of a pull off or pull back. What as a result of that, and some of the 45Z legislation and just lack of guidance there has had the crush margin just kind of erode back down to possibly some very low levels for whether you're making money or not. But on the flip side of that, we're seeing the export program for soybean oil actually come alive, and that being because of the low prices that the soybean oil has been kind of tracking for quite some time, being the lowest priced oil on the planet. Yesterday, after the close, Kansas crop progress condition came out, and I specifically will look at Kansas, but you're looking at 55% good to excellent, which is pretty good. There's very little in drought stress or anything there, but you just have to keep an eye on it. We're going to get national reports come April, but here we're just looking at state by state, and I just specifically looked at the Kansas state here. Here's and it's maybe a little bit messy, but following Kansas, you can see how the black is how the Kansas May contract is traded, and the colored line chart is actually the 5-year average, and it looks like we're potentially tracking pretty close to the average here. So we'll see if we can get that kind of lift in the market if it's going to follow that 5-year average. It's been tracking fairly close, not exact, but looks like it timing wise it's at the right time for us to be talking about it for sure. But you can see that there is a 10-day dryness getting built in this area here. But you can see the heat is actually going to hit the west and cooling over the Great Lakes region. So that could slow some of this ice melt possibly if it's too cool for the big ice melt. But we're currently at 12.5%, and you basically have to get through that way right there. And there's icebreakers here, icebreakers here. I haven't seen any in this region as of yet. Love to see if they can get to T-Bay, and then once the icebreakers get through and they call it all safe, they'll be moving grain through the eastern corridor. Another article that I kind of picked on here was the Chinese stimulus that came out over the weekend. Their goal is to try to raise minimum wages, expand work relief programs, and wage arrears across the SME space. And I guess I should know what the heck that is, but when they use acronyms in articles and they don't explain it, it's pretty dumb. But they're cutting interest rates and policy tools. But when we're like the holdback, that would be the biggest thing here is rising unemployment and just consumer sentiment is decreasing, and that's they're saying this and it's coming out of China. So how bad is it? So they're putting out numbers that are not favorable, and the rest of the world can see. So how bad is it? Gold is the safe haven. Money goes towards gold when the economies are a little worrisome, hitting all-time highs on gold. So maybe Trump is going to take credit for that. So canola is just teetering on green on the uh, just a tenth of a point up. Rapeseed is still down a little bit. Soybean oil is up, so that's where the strength might be coming from for canola. Palm is down a little bit as well. Crude oil is actually up. I didn't put in a chart in my to have a look at crude, but it's been trading in that range for a while. Soybeans are slightly up, and your wheats are up just a couple pennies, and corn is down, and your Canadian dollar is down a little bit today. So just have a look at it. So that's the green day. That's the St. Patty's special right there, with a little bit of green showing when I took the screen grab. But when you look at the next chart, the new crop, it's not green on today as of right now. And again, you're waiting until Chicago opens up at 8:30 Central. That'll tell the tale if the market's going to remain green and trade. Rapeseed, not the best chart. grabbed the wrong chart here, but it's still not the best chart for the dollar value. It's 143. Where yesterday we were trading up in that range, even though we traded down. Canola went up in value, so it's pushed it down for sure. Love to see it keep moving down as Canadian canola gets more and more expensive, but it hardly feels expensive from where we are. It's just this crop has got so cheap as well, and that's the problem. Soybean oil, we have 3 days on the screen here, so uh, looking at that, it's a positive signal. Still not crossed over on the slow stochastics, but looking pretty positive there. Palm oil, red candle, but still at the top end of this trading range. It's not trading these lows are over here, or not even broke down to the lows that it saw, just to try to find some more sales there. Soybeans, a little wee bit of green on the screen here, but the trend is not our friend here. Um, yeah, soybean meal, basically been in this wedge, a descending wedge. Canadian dollar looks like it's trying to get back to those values there. I wouldn't be surprised we're going to trade to the bottom end of this range again. Let's have a look at wheat. This is the golden boy story for the last couple of weeks. It just keeps on going up here. And here's your new crop. Difference between that one and this one here, we're getting to the 50%, and the other one was only getting to the wasn't that 50% retracement value yet. Here's your Kansas. You're getting above the 50%, getting approaching your 61.8. And the hard red wheat for new crop, it's actually not trading quite as strong as the other one, but or the front month, but it's going up. But then you look at the steepness of the curve. When you look at Chicago, it's hardly risen, and it's only moved between the 78.6 and the 61.8. Milling wheat hasn't really done anything really in the last few weeks. Here's live cattle. Looks like we're going to approach some of those highs that we made back over there, but we're going to have to pull back at some point here. But it sure feels like this could get back to those values there. At least the way it's running at it right now. Lean hogs, really good day yesterday. Some of this was actually in part of the some of those slaughter plants that need registration in China. Finally, we're starting to get their registrations coming through so that they can ship over there, which was good news for them. And that's all I have for you today.